The jinn are beings that have been tied to folklore for centuries. What are jinns anyways, and are they actually even real? According to the Islamic school of thought, they definitely are, and they're involved in your lives a lot more than you could even imagine. Hey guys, my name is Leroy Kenton and welcome back to FTD Facts. Now in this episode I'm looking at 10 surprising and interesting facts about jinn, and this is according to popular Islamic belief. So let's just get right into it. I got a lot of information to share, starting off with the first thing that I want you guys to know. The jinn have free will, and some are believers and others are even disbelievers. A good example of this would be the being Satan. In Islam, Satan is a jinn who became a disbeliever. Now there's a passage that says, and some of us jinn are Muslims, and some of us are disbelievers who have deviated from the right path. And whosoever has embraced Islam, then such have sought the right path. And that's found in the Quran, Surah 72, verses 14. Now the next thing I want to share is that the jinn are beings that Allah had created before mankind, and He created them out of fire. You can find this in the Quran, Surah 15, verses 27, and it says, and the jinn we created aforetime from the smokeless flame of fire. It's kind of crazy thinking about it, because like we as human beings, like we decay and become the earth once again. But imagine making a being out of fire. Like what sort of texture would their skin be? Are they just constantly hot all the time? But anyways, moving on. Jinn can also see us, but like we can't see them. And you know, the crazy thing is some animal can actually see jinn. Another passage from the Quran, it says, verily he, Satan, and his tribes of jinn see you from where you cannot see them. And that's in the Quran, Surah 7, verses 27. The Hadith also talks about this. It says like, if you hear the barking of dogs or the braying of donkeys during the night, seek refuge in Allah from Satan, for they see what you do not see. So yeah, it looks like animals can see some of these beings at times, and they're just barking, and you're like, what are you barking at? They see something that you don't see. Another Islamic belief about jinn is that every human being is thought to be assigned a special type of jinn from birth, and this kind of jinn is called a Qareen or a Jinn Comrade. And this jinn, it's not your best friend. This kind of jinn will encourage you to do evil stuff. Even the Prophet Muhammad is said to have had a Jinn Comrade, but according to Islamic tradition, apparently his jinn converted to Islam, so it became a believer. And having lived, of course, with the human being since birth, these jinn know absolutely everything about them. And this means that anybody that has the ability to communicate with jinn, like let's say a psychic for example, I don't know, could actually ask the jinn stuff about you and just relay it to you. So yeah, they may not necessarily be seeing your future or just know stuff about you. They may be talking to the jinn and you can't even see it happening. One thing I found very interesting is that the Prophet Muhammad's guidance applies to the world of mankind, of course, and also the Prophet Muhammad was sent to the jinn. And in the Quran it says, say, O Muhammad, it has been revealed to me that a group of jinn listened to this Quran. They said, verily we have heard a wonderful recitation. It guides to the right path, and we have believed therein, and we shall never join in worship anything with our Lord Allah. And that's in the Quran, Surah 72, verses 1 to 2. So I alluded to that a little bit earlier where I said Muhammad's jinn converted to Islam. So yeah, I guess that would make sense. Now there's another Islamic prophet who is related to communicating with jinn as well, and that's a prophet Suleiman, or Solomon in English. In the Quran, Suleiman is the king of ancient Israel, and he was granted the gift to speak with animals and jinn. God gave him authority over jinn, so Solomon was able to force them to build the first temple. And certain beliefs regarding Solomon and his power over the jinn and everything later actually made its way into folklore, so there's all sorts of legends about this. Jinn are also believed to resemble humans in what they drink and what they eat. They also have children and they can pass away. And they also are subject to the judgment that's going to happen in the end times. So just like it said for humans, they're going to be judged according to their deeds. So if they're judged to be good, they're going to attain paradise. If they're judged to be evil, they get punished with hell. And jinn, you know, they can also appear in the form of animals, which I found was pretty interesting. And that leads me to my next fact. So there are different types of jinn, like some can fly, others can shapeshift, although they cannot appear as the Prophet Muhammad. That's one power that they don't have. There's a passage from the Hadith that explains this. It says, there are 3 types of jinn. One type that fly about through the air all the time, another type that appears as a snake and dogs, and an earthbound type which resides in one place or wanders about. Another passage from the Hadith says, whosoever sees me, i.e. the Prophet Muhammad, in a dream, then it is me, for the devils cannot appear like me. Now, one of the scariest things about jinn, probably the most scariest thing about the jinn, is that people can actually be possessed by them. Oftentimes people who are possessed by jinns may not be in agony or a lot of pain like we see sometimes in the movies. However, individuals may get like super angry or feel like they're forced to do a certain act without being able to help themselves from committing that act, whatever it is. And yeah, so you would have to go through an exorcism to get rid of the jinn. And the final fact I want to share is jinn apparently thrive in places like the desert and places like the mountains. Pakistan, for example, is a place that is known for jinn, as well as there's reports that jinn were in a sinkhole in the wastes outside of Kordor, Somalia. And other jinn haunt ruins and caves, crossroads, garbage dumps, as well as large bodies of water and even the upper atmosphere. Graveyards are also another place that jinn like to hang out. So yeah, just be careful where you travel to because you might just run into a jinn. Anyways guys, so those are 10 surprising interesting facts about jinn according to Islamic belief. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you believe in jinn or other types of supernatural beings? Or have you had an experience with a jinn? Let me know those down below. Now before you get out of here, here's another related episode that you'll definitely will love if you enjoyed this one. Also, my social media links are below in the video description section. You can follow me over there. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring that bell to join the FTD Facts family and be notified of our future episodes. Okay guys, it was great hanging out with you. I'll see you guys real soon.